Laboratories are highly specialized workshops, places where products are rigorously tested to ensure standard and quality are always absolutely right. Yasmin Yusuf is a food technician. She helps to create flavors for the food industry. Stephen Bounds works in the research labs of a big petrochemical company. He works with pesticides and he uses analytical techniques like gas chromatography. Linda Maud's a specialist too. She's an apprentice metallurgical technician in the labs of a big engineering firm. She's learning how to test the properties of metal components used in the works. How do young people like these set out to become technicians in industry?
Well, at school I took mostly science subjects, and I did do some domestic science as well. And from that I really wanted to work in a laboratory rather than an office or a bank or something like some job involving more paperwork. So although I did have a few interviews with banks, I saw this a vacancy, and I sort of jumped at the chance and decided this was better for me. In this laboratory you can get quite a variety of projects, and you might get a project involving bakery and one involving drinks and confectionery. And it can be anything from matching a flavour or even trying to get the cost down, juggle around with dosages and different flavours and that sort of thing.
Matching flavours, juggling around with dosages. As we shall see, food flavouring is an expert skill, and Yasmin becomes involved in a project almost from the moment the technical director, Ken Hassey, receives a client's request through Jeff Pryor, the sales director.
It's an urgent project.
Oh. What's the sort of timing that you've got in mind for it? When would you like to go back to him?
I'd ideally like to go back in 2 weeks.
So we should consider getting our laboratory work done within a week or 10 days. Get together for a tasting session.
If we could do it in that timing, I think that would suit him.
Okay, well, I'll check with Marilyn and see how we can get this fitted in as quickly as possible.
All right, and I'll be getting the paperwork over to you.
They want a range of pectin jellies to demonstrate some of our tropical fruit ideas. I wonder if you've got time to do it within the next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks?
Yes.
I think any particular favourites they want, or
I'll
leave that to us.
I'll leave that to you to pick which flavours you think are most suitable in it.
Have we got to consider any legislation or anything like that?
Not at this stage, no.
Any cost?
Marilyn Harold, lab supervisor, will be following Yasmin's progress as she makes up this new range of fruit-flavoured jellies for the client.
The moulds that we use are impressions in starch, so you have to pack starch fairly tightly into a shallow tray and then push moulds into it so to make impressions in starch. It's fairly easy to wash off and can be used again and again.
Yasmin already knows a lot about making confectionery. It's vital that the ingredients are weighed precisely. The sweet she's creating today may well be nationally known in a few months' time.
Well, when I'm asked exactly what is my job, and I tell them that I'm a flavourist, there's usually a stunned silence in that they've never come across a flavourist before. Essentially, I create new flavours for use in food and drinks, as a painter would paint a picture or as a perfumer would develop a new perfume. I do that sort of thing with taste in mind.
With taste in mind, the company has developed a vast range of basic flavours. From these, and using her own careful judgment, Yasmin chooses the flavours she thinks will suit the market that the client is catering to.
You have to select the flavours that you're using to meet brief very carefully. If, for example, an orange flavour, you could have a range of up to 10 or so, and some of those flavours will emphasise the smell of the orange and the smell of the skin. Others may emphasise the juice notes.
Yasmin's training involves a number of aspects. There is, of course, in-house training. In the creative side of the work that is done, she is constantly assessing raw materials that we use, smelling them and tasting them in conjunction with her senior colleagues. On the application side, she is being shown how to prepare suitable media for presentation of flavors. She will be seen making ice cream or carbonating a beverage, making biscuits. There is not a specific attempt to teach food technology, and this is why it is so necessary and so useful that the college is formalizing that training on a good technical basis.
As well as flavouring, Yasmin has to be equally aware of colour. These are mango-flavoured sweets she's making, so she's coloured them to match the flesh colour of the mango. She pours the still warm mixture into a funnel ready to fill the moulds where the jellies will set.
Well, the course I'm taking is a food technician's course at South London College. Part 1 takes 2 years and Part 2 takes another 2 years. After Part 1 there's an exam and you get the first part of your certificate. And then you have to take another 2 years and get Part 2. And after that, you're a qualified food technician, hopefully.
How are you getting on?
Well, fine, thanks. Got to wash the starch off and taste them.
What sugar are you using?
It's caster sugar. It has more of a shine to it.
Yeah.
Have to wash the oil off as well afterwards.
It's slippery. It's fine, it's got a good impact. Makes a nice texture as well. They're just right.
Thanks. Just have to improve on the colour.
Oh, I'll do that next time.
Hope so.
She has good talent and a good appreciation of food products. She has developed the creative side of her work, which is so necessary in this field. I'm not certain yet whether she will aim specifically towards the application or towards the creative. It's early days.
These are all the tropical fruit ideas that we were discussing.
This is just the tropical fruit.
Just, yes. You've got passion fruits, papayas, pineapple, and mango, yes?
Yes, and there's a mandarin as well.
And a mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any order?
Oh, we should taste the passion fruit first.
Right, so that's...
Thank you. Did you use the 246?
No, we used the 884.
Any reason?
Well, we smelt a few of the others, and one of them was particularly woody, sort of smoky, woody type of smell. I didn't really like that.
And you checked that, Marilyn, did you?
Yes, it was a bit like that. What dosage have you used in these?
Well, we used 0.015% in this one. It might just be a bit too high.
I agree, I think it's a shade too high.
Well, shall we cut it down? 0.01?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
It's mango next.
Mango.
Right. Oh, that's superb. Really is
Very
first
nice.
class.
Yes, I agree, it's a good
What
product.
about the acid?
Very
Okay.
good product. Dosage is fine, acid's right. Excellent.
Excellent piece of
Terrific.
work. Well done.
Okay. It's very nice to see a job when you get a brief to start from the beginning and work right to the end and not have to do part of a job and pass it along to someone else. It's nice to go all the way through, and I think you can take a lot of pride in your work if you do that. And, well, where it might be leading to, well, I really can't say, but hopefully to running a laboratory rather than just being a small part of it to actually run.
You must keep tabs on every sample coming into a chemical laboratory. The first thing Stephen learned after he was taken on by Head of Commercial Products Analysis, Brian Matthews.
I well remember Stephen Bounds coming along for an interview. It must be nearly 4 years ago now. He was somewhat unusual in that he had only reached the O-level stage. He had very good O-levels, but it's customary here to take our technicians on with 2 A-levels. We interviewed Stephen and we were very impressed with him. He was very alert, intelligent, and we felt that he had the makings of a very good technician. One of our South American operating companies has come in with a request for a new barricade formulation for use in sheep dips. The job will involve preparation of the formulation. We'll need to do testing on site at the Woodstock farm.
So liaise with the farm manager on that
Fine,
one.
if you would.
Okay.
Important thing will be to take samples from the dip so that we can establish the depletion characteristics.
Shell's Chemical Research Centre in Kent runs a farm where chemical products like pesticides can be tried out. Stephen's working on a pesticide called Barricade. It kills ticks on sheep.
Well, first of all, the formulation has to be added to the bath and well mixed and stirred in. Barricade and Supona are ones that are very often used on the farms. We get samples in from South Africa, Uruguay, all over the world. The sheep are dropped in one end, swim along, and are completely submerged so that the whole of their body is covered.
After a batch of 20 have gone through the bath, Stephen gets ready to take his first sample. He'll be taking further samples after each batch of 20 until the whole flock has been dipped.
We have a corked bottle on a long rod, usually, which is placed right into the centre of the bath, the cork removed, filled with the water from there, the cork replaced and then removed out the bath. Depletion rate is how much of the compound is taken away by the sheep. Ideally, there needs to be quite a lot taken away, but as that's done, the concentration of the formulation in the bath decreases, so we have to have replenishments, and to know when to replenish to get up to the correct concentration of formulation, that's why we take the samples after so many sheep and analyse it. I've had quite a lot of on-the-job training for the first couple of years. I was shown how to use all these instruments we see about by the various staff, and I've also been away on a course for a week at Loughborough University in gas chromatography. One day a week I travelled to Medway College. I have been studying for ONC in chemistry and HNC in chemistry.
Now he's got his ordinary and higher national certificates in chemistry, Stephen can go on with his studies to honours degree level. He hopes to finish up as a graduate of the Royal Society of Chemistry.
Well, when samples arrive in our laboratory, they're first of all booked into our system. We then take an aliquot of this, is say a 5 ml quantity by pipette, into a flask. We add an organic solvent such as ethyl acetate or something like that, and add sodium sulfate, which is used to absorb the water so that the barricade that was in the sample goes into the organic layer, the ethyl acetate. The coagulation was caused by the water being absorbed into the sodium sulfate, which turned the nice crystals into solid lumps. The shaking should break down these lumps so that all of the barricade is removed from the water layer and into the organic layer.
Each year, Stephen's supervisor, Colin Self, goes through Stephen's annual report. It assesses his technical progress over the year, and it also looks into other aspects of the job.
It's become now the 4 years. We've gone through the training period, but I wondered, how you feel more with the administrative side of the sort of work you're involved in.
I enjoyed being involved with the microfilm of the good laboratory practice records. I also enjoyed being involved in the sample room, in collecting together people's ideas and redesigning it.
Yes, it's vastly improved now. We can at least find samples and dispose of them.
By now, Stephen's well into his analysis of the barricade samples. Gas chromatography shows up and measures the active material in each of the samples he's prepared for testing.
Injected a sample.
very well resolved from the co-extracts. Yes, some good chromatography there. How about the results?
Well, they're coming along fine. Very well. That's after 40 sheep and 60.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see after 200 head have been through, see the complete depletion rate.
I think one thing that's most important when you're working in a group such as ours is that you do function effectively as a team. You must use the experience of other analytical chemists around you. Stephen certainly does show that. It's a great advantage to get people when they're young. You can mould them into what we would call the right sort of attitudes and practices. Perhaps he adapts a bit better than some of us older chemists.
Linda Maud's an apprentice metallurgical technician with the Holset Engineering Works in Huddersfield. One of the main products here is a range of turbochargers, and today Linda's selected a casting at random from a new consignment into the factory warehouse. She'll be testing the properties of the metal. Everything that comes into the warehouse is spot checked in this way. Using a bandsaw, Linda removes a slice of metal from the casting. What she finds after tests will determine whether the whole consignment is to be accepted or not. Linda's training to be a lab technician in metallurgy. That means specializing in metals and their properties. At school, she was always interested in science, and physics was one of her O-level subjects. She left at 16.
Well, I came out with assorted CSEs and O-levels, including maths and physics. And I wanted to go into architecture, but I didn't want to stay on at school for A-levels and then go to university. And we thought engineering drawing would be a good substitute, so I applied at engineering firms then. And through that I got onto an apprenticeship.
So Linda started off in mechanical engineering. The skills she learnt then are helpful now in the laboratory. She can prepare her own specimens on lathes or grinders without having to get someone else to do it for her. This machine is a tensometer. It tests how much load the metal sample will stand before breaking under tension. Several tons per square inch are built up in a few moments, and the result is automatically recorded on a graph.
This firm took me on as an apprentice mechanic. I started training in the training schools, and then there's a period where you travel around the entire works and work in different departments. And I just happened to like the period I worked in the lab. Well, there was a vacancy, so I applied and I got the job. And then it was pretty easy to switch from my engineering course into metallurgy because there's a lot of units that are the same.
Linda has set that small section of metal from the turbocharger in a resin mould. It holds the specimen steady while she polishes the cut surface until it's mirror smooth. She's satisfied that the specimen's now ready for display on the metallurgical microscope, which clearly shows the structure of metals. This is the point where Linda needs to check her findings with the chief metallurgist, Ian Miskimmon.
Now, what is it supposed to be?
It's SG-iron.
SG-iron, turbine housing.
Yeah.
Right. That looks reasonably good. You've got the graphite in the nice rounded form with the spheroids. She has just over a year to go in apprenticeship, which will complete the 4 years total engineering apprenticeship programme. Next year we go on to some of the more detailed technical things. That has some bearing to the college, some relationship to the college, in that for the technical qualification she has to have gone through a certain amount of training, some of which is done by the college and some of which is done by the firm she works for. At the end of that time, she becomes a complete member of our department and she will be termed a metallurgical technician.
Linda studies in the engineering department of Bradford College. One of her tutors in metallurgy is Peter Hardacre. Today, the exercise is testing the hardness of a piece of metal before and after heat treatment.
30 kilograms.
30 kilo, fine.
This machine indents an impression using a measured amount of force. The softer the metal, the deeper the impression.
Right, now how hard do you expect this to be?
About 200.
200, okay. What reading's that then? 533. 196, very near to 200. Right, we're heat treating now, aren't we? Temperature.
Heating in a furnace, followed by a quick drop in temperature in an oil bath, hardens the metal. This time, when she tests the same piece of metal, the impression is not nearly so deep, so the metal has hardened and become more resistant to the load.
Physical science.
Yes.
I've got maths 1, 2 and 3.
Yes.
General and communication studies twice.
1 and 2, yes. Right, now with us you've done introductory metallurgy, metallurgical chemistry, metallurgical science, structure and properties of metals, metallurgical process technology, metallurgical production technology. This means that in fact you've got a total now of 15 units. 15 units enables you to have a TC certificate in metallurgical studies. How about that then?
That's great. Does that mean I can go on to the 4th and 5th year?
Yes, you can, starting in September. It'll be another 2 years of part-time study, but if you can get through this year, you can get through the next 2 years quite easily.
So when can I put letters after my name?
Well, you've got the technical qualification now for associate membership with Institute of Metallurgical Technicians, but you've got to be 21 before you can put letters after name. How old are you now?
I'm 19, that means waiting 2 years.
You can wait that long, can't you, surely?
I'll try.
Linda's job takes her into every corner of the works as she collects her samples for spot checking in the lab. The liquid in the electroplating tanks must obviously be balanced correctly, and one of Linda's duties is to sample this electrolyte fluid at regular intervals. The role played by chemistry and metallurgy is as important as that of physics. Chemical analysis needs not only expert knowledge and careful working habits, but also patience and a keen eye for chemical changes.
How much sulfuric acid did we use, Linda?
11.3.
If we multiply that by the factor, that gives us 0.8 ounces per gallon. Could you do that again, please? And I'll go and work out an addition.
Okay. I'm the only girl working up here, but you get used to it. By this time next year, I should be a fully fledged technician. Although people do say to me, oh, by this time next year, you'll be married and pushing a pram around. I don't think so.